Right, so I talked about, in the last video I talked about addition and hence subtraction of fractions, and I've talked about multiplication. I just need to now talk about division. Previously I'd lumped division in with multiplication, and that is the case exactly as such. You just needed to do a little fiddling around with the division, and then from then on it's a multiplication. So proceeding by example, if I have something like this, okay, 1/9 divided by 3/4. So basically the rule is that the first fraction stays as it is. I convert the division sign into a multiplication, and then I swap this fraction over like this, 4/3. And that's just the basic rule. From then on, it's just a straightforward multiplication. So the rules for multiplication are that you just multiply right across the top, you multiply right across the bottom. That's the basic rule that will always work. So it's just 4/27. So that's the basic rule, and that's why I've lumped division in with multiplication. So to just talk a bit more about a few more complicated expressions, operations on this theme. If I have something like that, how do I proceed with something like that? Well, again, I have mentioned the solution. I have mentioned the way of getting around this is to realise that 3 is actually equal to 3/1. Okay, I have mentioned this before when I talked about rational numbers. You could also equivalently see that it's, as a division, it's consistent. 3 divided by 1 is just 3. £3 divided by one person means that everyone gets £3, and so on. So I'll rephrase this, or rewrite this as that. And from then on it should be just fairly straightforward. I write the first fraction down as it is, convert that to a multiplication sign, and I flip these over. And then multiply right across the top and multiply right across the bottom. So it'll give me 3/12. But just again, looking at this, I can see that this is not in its lowest terms. I can divide the top and bottom by 3, for example. So if I divide the top by 3, that'll give me 1. And if I divide the bottom by 3, that'll give me 4. So that is equal to a quarter. And that would be the expected answer rather than this one. You always give the answer to a fractional operation in its lowest terms. So what about this one? Okay, so I'm using this more modern notation now. That means 2 divided by 3/4. So where do I go from here? Actually, perhaps before I start on doing that, I could probably think of something like this. Just switch it around a bit and have something like that. So this will be 3/4, the fraction 3/4 divided by 3. Okay, so this is again using our more favourable notation for divisions. Well, I can tell you that this becomes 3/12, which again is a quarter. This is similar to the one we just had. So how do I know this? Well, sorry, where was the last one here? Best advice I can give is to adopt the old notation. to learn the rules of how that goes to that, is to adopt the old notation and try and make sense of it. So that 3 over 4 divided by 3, that's essentially equal what I've got here. If I can take that, convert it to the old form, play around with it, and hopefully you can see that where I've got 3 over 12 from. It requires a bit of thought, but yeah, so I can leave that with you to have a think about. Likewise for this one here, how do I proceed? This is the one I just displayed just before. How do I proceed with something like this? Well, that is equal to 2 over 2 multiplied by 4 over 3, and that equals 8 over 3. Okay, so that's a multiplication sign there. So how is that gone from that to that? I mean, the basic rules just stated is that number goes into the that number stays as it is, but that 4 flips over to the top. How do I know how that works? Well, it's as I said before. I suggest you go back to the old form and say, okay, 2 divided by 3 over 4. Just have a think about that and relate it to this here. Should I do that in full? I mean, again, to do this is 2 over 1 times 4 over 3, which equals 8 over 3. Okay, so I'm getting the same number by doing this. But what I'm really asking you in a hand-waving way, well, I'm stating this in a hand-waving way, is to if you have difficulty understanding how that works, just refer back to the old way and see if you can make the connection. See if you can make the connection such that eventually you can just come along with something like that and go straight from there to there, because the rules are fixed in your head. So the most complicated would be something like this: 2 over 9 divided by 4 over 3. Okay, so that's going the full hog there. I've got a fraction divided by another fraction. Again, if I can just state the rules, that goes up to 2 multiplied by 3 over 9 divided by 4 equals 6 over 36. Okay, 2 times 3 is 6, 9 times 4 is 36. And again, I can reduce that down to its lowest terms because there's a common factor there of 6. I mean, I can see straight away that there's a common factor of 6. If you, for example, came along and say, okay, there's a common factor there of 2, you could then reduce that down to 3 over 18. You could then look at it again and see that there's a common factor of 3, and then reduce that down even further. So whereas I've done it one step and said, okay, divide that by 6 gives me 1. Divide that by 6 gives me 6, and that's the answer. If you can't see anything like that straight away, there's nothing wrong per se in doing it in two or more steps. You know, I divide top and bottom by 2, and then when you get an answer out there, that'll be 6 over 36 equals 3 over 18, and say, okay, top and bottom can be divided by 3. That'll give me 1 over 6. So yeah, if you can only do it this way, this way is longer, but that's perfectly correct. Obviously, with practice, you would like it rather than going this way. You would do it this way, but that's okay. That's okay to do it the longer way if needs be. So again, what can I say about this? All I can really say is do this the long way. If you have difficulty understanding this, do this the long way, and hopefully the ideas will get sorted out. That stays as it is, which is similar to the previous example, and that one gets shifted right up to the top, like that. Again, I mean, you can do it the old-fashioned way. The old-fashioned way would be to well, I'm calling it the old-fashioned way, would be something like this. And that would equal to 2 over 9 multiplied by 3 over 4. So straight away, that's this expression here is equal to this one here. So it's a case of having a look at that and just working out the rules yourself. It's a case basically of where does this go when you try and simplify it, and where does this go when you try and simplify it. And it's, I think if you have a think about it, it becomes fairly straightforward after a while. Right, so again, thanks very much if you're still with me. I hope that was a help. Although I appreciate on this one, you're going to need to do a bit more thinking by yourself to get the rules sorted out.